The Gift of India, written by Sarojini Naidu. This poem is included in the syllabus of ISC. Now here are some basic details related to the poem. This poem is considered as an anti-war poem. It presents before us the horrifying consequences of a war. Then secondly, it is considered also as a patriotic poem. It is also taken as an elegy. Now what is an elegy? Elegy is a poem written to lament over the death of someone. So here it is lamenting over the 75,000 Indian soldiers who died on the foreign lands, who served the British Army. We'll talk about it in detail. Now let's talk about further in this poem what is the rhyming scheme. Now here in this poem, overall there are 24 lines, although you will not see the segregation of the stanza, but here there are 4 stanzas and each stanza comprises of 6 lines. Here you find the couplets. The first line rhymes with the second, the third with the fourth, fifth with the sixth, and so onwards. So that is why the rhyming goes A, B, B, C, C, D, D. This poem reflects before us the mother-son relationship. Now here, who is the mother? Mother here has been taken for India, Mother India. India has been personified here, and that is the reason she is taken as a mother. Now son here has been considered for the brave soldiers, the Indian soldiers who have died, who have given away their life for the sake of these Britishers on the foreign land. This poem is a kind of a tribute to these dead Indian soldiers, okay, who gave away their life for the sake of these British people, the Britishers. Keep it in mind, we are talking about the time period when the first world was there, during the time of 1914 to 1918, and these Indian soldiers who were working under the British officials, they were sent to the foreign lands to fight for the British cause, not for the Indian cause, but for the cause of the Britishers. And they went there on the call of the duty, and finally they sacrificed their life not for India but for the sake of the Britishers. So that is what has been considered here, and here the Mother India is seen speaking to the Britishers, asking the Britishers to at least pay homage, pay tribute to her dead sons. Now let's start with the poem. Is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Rich gifts of raiment or grain or gold? Lo, I have flung to the east and the west priceless treasures torn from my breast, and yielded the sons of my stricken womb to the drumbeats of the duty, the chambers of doom. Now let's go for the explanation, the meanings first. Now here the first 2 lines, it is a kind of a rhetorical question. Now rhetorical question, what does this rhetoric means here? Let me explain it to you. Now basically when we talk about rhetoric question, it is standing for a question which is asked in order to create a dramatic effect or to make a point rather than to get an answer. So here in a way Mother India is asking a question to the Britishers, and she is asking them that is there aught you need that my hands withhold? Now withhold here means hold back. rich gifts of raiments or grain or gold. Now, raiment here is standing for garments, clothes, grains, gold. So, here Mother India is addressing the Britishers and asking them that is there anything which I have held back from you? Whatever you desired, whatever you demanded, whether it was the garments, whether it was the gold, whether it was the grains, clothes, spices, whatever rich things which I was having on my land, I have given it away to you. There is nothing which I had withheld from you. Lo, I have flung to the east and west priceless treasures torn from my breast. Now, lo here is an expression to call for attention. Flung here means thrown or given away. East and west is talking about the countries, eastern and the western countries. When we talk about the eastern countries, here it is talking for Persia, France and Flanders. Priceless treasures, here it is a metaphor used for the Indian soldiers. Torn from my breast, my here is standing for Mother India. And yielded is provided. The sons of my stricken womb, stricken, here it is a short version of the word grief stricken womb, the soldiers, the Indian soldiers which were ruthlessly taken away to serve the cause in the First World War. So here in these two lines we get to know that Mother India is saying that, oh Britishers, even I have given you my most precious things. These things like raiments, grains or gold, they are precious, but rather more precious than these things are my Indian soldiers. You asked for my Indian soldiers and you wanted them to be sent away from their own motherland to the eastern and the western countries, and accordingly you had sent them there. You had snatched my sons away from my breast and you had sent them to die on the foreign land to just for the sake of your cause. They went there to save your purpose. They went there to fight just for you all. To the drum beats of duty, the chambers of doom. Now, drum beat here, it is an auditory imagery. Beat here is taken for the call or to serve the purpose. Duty here is related to the call of duty. When the war was announced, finally the Indian soldiers were sent and they did not deny this duty. They were quite exactly like true professionals. They went out to fight, although not for the Indian cause but for the British cause. Keep it in mind, at that time India was enslaved. It was under the British rule and colonization was there, and finally due to that they were under the pressure to go and fight for the Britishers. Anyways, they did not deny this call of duty and they went to the foreign land to serve the purpose of these Britishers. The chambers of doom. Now, what is the chambers of doom? Chambers basically is a long sword, and doom means they were knowing that it was their doom which they are going ahead to meet, but still they did not deny it. They very well knew that it is a battlefield and a war does not spare anybody. And finally they are not going to return back to their homeland, but still they did not deny it, and finally they stood up to go and fight for the Britishers with the long swords which they held in their hand. So here anyhow in the first stanza we get to know that Mother India is talking to the Britishers and asking, she is telling to the Britishers that when you have come here and started ruling over India, whatever we had, whatever riches we had, whether it was the garments, clothes, grains or gold, everything you have taken away from me and sent it to your land, to your own homeland. And even now when you demanded me to give away my sons, I have given away my sons also, and accordingly without my wish you had sent them to the foreign country countries to fight for your cause. My sons, who knew what the duty is, what their duty was, and never denied to the call of duty, stood erect and were ready to go to the battlefields to serve your purpose. Now coming to the next stanza. Gathered like pearls in their alien graves, silent they sleep by the Persian waves, scattered like shells on Egyptian sands, they lie with pale brows and brave broken hands. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance on the blood-brown meadows of Flanders and France. In this second stanza, we find that the poet has offered brilliant similes to commemorate the sacrifices made by the Indian soldiers. Beautifully, the comparison has been given here. You can see it yourself. Gathered like pearls in this particular line. Here, the dead bodies of the Indian soldiers which are lying on the alien graves. Alien grave means the foreign lands. Okay, and the dead bodies have been compared to the pearls, scattered like pearls, gathered there like pearls on the alien graves, that is on the foreign lands, that is on the lands of Persia, Egypt and all these countries where they were sent to fight. Then silent they sleep by the Persian waves. Silent means quietly they are sleeping. They are dead. They are no more awake. They have died, given up their lives, and they are spread out there where near the Persian seas. Scattered like shells on Egyptian sands. Now here scattered like shells, here it has been compared. The dead body of the soldiers are lying there in Egypt and they are scattered on the sands exactly as shells are found scattered on the sand. They lay dead, their death being signified by pale brows and their bravery by broken hand. So here you have this. They lie with pale brows. Pale brows means they are no more alive, exactly as a dead body turns pale. Their bodies, as they are dead, also has turned pale, signifying that they are no more alive. And brave and broken hands. Now brave and broken hand here is signifying that they fought bravely, and with broken hands their dead bodies are lying scattered and they silently sleep on the Persian waves and the Egyptian sands. They are strewn like blossoms mown down by chance. Now this again very beautifully it has been described that the dead soldiers, that the dead body of the soldiers are scattered exactly like the flowers which are cut down without any plan, and that remains scattered and uncared for. Now uncared for, why I use this word uncared for? The Britishers were so selfish that they did not care to even bring back the dead bodies of the Indian soldiers to their homeland. So this is what has been said out here in these few lines. Each line is comprising of a simile, and alliteration is also found in the lines. So make sure that you find out these figure of speeches. Third stanza. Can ye measure the grief of the tears I weep, or compass the woe of the watch I keep, or the pride that thrills through my heart's despair, and the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer, and the far sad glorious vision I see of the torn red banners of victory. Now this stanza, once again, it is starting with a rhetorical question spoken by Mother India to the Britishers. This stanza also presents the mixed feelings of this mother, of a mother for her dead sons. Okay, so let's see how. So as I told you, it starts with a rhetorical question. Here Mother India is asking the Britishers, she is asking whether they are able to understand, whether they can measure the grief which she is going through, the sorrow which she is experiencing at this particular time, when she gets to know that she has lost all those 75,000 soldiers, the sons of hers who had died for their sake. So she is asking them whether they can measure the pain which she is experiencing at that particular moment. But she again is in a way presenting a contrast that she and what is that contrast? Although she is talking about the feeling of pain, but yet that feeling also gives her some pride, the feeling of pride. In what way? She is talking about the bravery of her Indian sons, the sons who had sacrificed their life. Although they had sacrificed their life, but they fought bravely and then gave away their life on the battlefield. So although she is having she is in a state of hopelessness, but still in that state of hopelessness she is full of pride. Why? Because she is experiencing, she can understand with what way bravery her sons had might have fought till the last moment and then gave away their life. And the hope that comforts the anguish of prayer. Now, anguish of prayer stands for pain while praying. Now, what does this word hope stands for? Hope here is standing for peace. So, Mother India hopes that although the life of her sons has been sacrificed, the son's life has already been taken away, but this sacrifice of the sons will not go in vain. One day will come when peace is going to be maintained over this hatred and terror. Keep it in mind, hatred and terror is the basic cause of war, and she hopes that a day will come when peace is going to be maintained throughout this shattered world. Right? So, now coming to the next line. And the far sad glorious vision I see. Now, far sad glorious. Sad glorious is an oxymoron, and far means far away, means India is one day going to be free. It is not going to be a slave country. Britishers will go away from here, and this is the vision which she is able to visualize of the torn red banners of victory. Torn red banners of victory means over hatred and terror. What is going to be maintained? Victory is going to be maintained. Peace is going to be maintained. Why? Because war does not bring any profit to anybody. It only brings death and devastation. Nobody gains from these wars, and this is what Mother India is hoping, that one day will come, although that my sons have been gone, they have gone away, they are dead, they are no more alive, they have been sacrificed, but still a day will come when victory is going to be gained. And what is that victory all about? It is maintaining of peace throughout the world. Last stanza. When the terror and the tumult of hate shall cease, and life be refashioned on anvils of peace, and your love shall offer memorial thanks to the comrades who fought on the dauntless ranks, and you honor the deeds of the dauntless ones, remember the blood of my martyred sons. So, first of all, the meanings. Tumult is a state of disorder and confusion. Cease is stop. Refashioned is coming back to normal state. Anvils is a strong foundation. Then shall offer memorial thanks. It is to pay tribute to the dead people. That is the martyrs. Here standing for the Indian soldiers. Comrades is for the fellow soldiers. Dauntless stands for brave. So this stanza is presenting a note of hope. And here Mother India is hoping that a day will surely come when this hatred, this terror which is found throughout the world, where everybody is living in a state of fear, confusion, will stop finally, and the life is going to come back to its normal state. That means peace will be maintained, and it is going to have a strong foundation. Here the speaker, that is Mother India, she is hoping that the bravery of the Indian soldiers would be remembered with gratitude, okay, and the brave acts of the dead Indian soldiers would always be acknowledged and honored. She is asking the Britishers not to forget the sacrifice which her dead sons did for their sake, and finally they should also remember them, pay tribute to them, pay homage to the martyred sons of India, who laid their life, who sacrificed their life and died in the unknown lands, for the foreign lands. And she wishes that their sacrifice should also be acknowledged and they should be honored for their sacrifice.